So one of the biggest questions that I hear singles ask is, can men and women really just be friends? One of the biggest questions that I hear married people ask is, can men and women really just be friends? Same question. There's a lot of ambiguity around that answer, and we haven't gotten it right. And so as an infidelity recovery specialist, we have found that there are 4 classifications of an affair. The first class is what we would call the one-night stand, very physical. The second class is emotional entanglement, friend. The third class is sexual compulsion, physical. The fourth class is what we call the marital void. So if there's a void in my marriage, I need to have that void fulfilled, and I usually form a relationship with a member of the opposite sex and have an affair. Friend. So there's a high probability that you will wind up engaging in an affair relationship with a friend. So as an infidelity recovery specialist, I take people through a process called the 19 signs of a close call friendship that borders and tiptoes on an affair. Let me just say this. This is important for all of you to understand. This is the perfect way to end, because I know we're short on time. This is the perfect way to end. Every single relationship on the planet Earth, whether male, female, male, or female, every single relationship is based upon some form of attraction. Now, it may not be physical, it may not be sexual, it may not be emotional, but there's something that draws and attracts you to that person. So let's just take my best friend, male. He loves history. I love history. We come together based upon that commonality. Instant chemistry, instant connection. We could talk till the sun comes up. But if I have a opposite sex friend who loves history and I love history, we have instant connection, instant rapport. We can talk till the sun comes up. Now, eventually, we know when dealing with the male-female dynamic, intimacy is the foundation of all communication. So the more that we talk about history, I'm like, wow. We can talk about anything. I wish my wife would be interested in history the way you're interested in history. I just can't believe that when we talk, we just have this instant connection, and oh my God. And so we transition from talking about history to talking about politics to talking about current events to talking about music to talking about church to talking about our favorite TV shows and getting to know each other. And all of a sudden, I feel like there's this chemistry and bond that I naturally have for her that I don't have with my girlfriend. Now, statistically, amongst married couples, the average couple engages in 4 minutes of conversation per day. That's according to the US and UK statistics, 4 minutes. So that means our conversation is had at the 2 most primary times of the day, as I'm racing off to work in the morning and when I come home from an exhaustive day at work at night. 4 minutes. And they're very cliche surface conversations. How was work? Work was work. All we're talking about are bills and kids and whatever. But I'm at work for 8 to 10 hours a day, sitting next to that female in the cubicle next to me, developing relationship, having conversation. Eventually, she's looking kind of cute. Like, I didn't notice that. Relationship is now being formed. Do you see what happens? And so now what was platonic, wait a minute, let's look into the word platonic. Because when you look up the word platonic, it is defined as having an intimate and affectionate relationship with someone. That's what platonic means. The question then becomes, as a boyfriend in a relationship, as a husband in a marriage, how intimate and affectionate can I be with you without eventually having a sexual or relational energy that formed from that interaction? How long could this last before it becomes inappropriate? So your boyfriend, girlfriend, your husband, pretty much your husband and your wife. That is your primary relationship. All other relationships are secondary to that. So if I have an opposite sex friend that compromises the integrity of my primary relationship, we need to reevaluate that friendship. Some friendships have to end. Some friendships have to be reevaluated. So here I am on the couch watching TV with my wife, all snuggled up, and I get a text. And we're texting back and forth. And all of a sudden I'm giggling. Who's that? Oh, no, nobody. Just a friend. And so now my mind is shifted. I'm redirected into this conversation. And then, can you come out? How would I look telling my wife, hey, Danielle, I'm going out with Hafiza to the movie. I'll be back in a couple hours. We're going out to that would be crazy. So the nature of the relationship, the interaction that you had prior to a committed, mutually beneficial, exclusive relationship should shift so it doesn't compromise the integrity of that relationship. I had to throw out certain names and numbers. Now, here's the other thing about the friend piece. We do many things in the name of friends. I mean, you threw out the term friends with benefits. So if I have a past partner that is now my friend, but my wife, my girlfriend, doesn't know my past history with my friend because I'm hiding it from her, because I know if she knows, she's going to have a problem with this relationship. You already know something's wrong. Did you know that statistically, I'm sorry, Pastor, this was a long answer, but this is it. All right, I promise. Did you know that statistically, how many people are on Facebook? If you connect with an old high school sweetheart, a former lover, whatever the case may be, on Facebook that you haven't seen in years, after 30 minutes of conversation, automatically those feelings creep right back up into you because your brain has an emotional history. So the feelings that you once had automatically are re-triggered just in the interaction. Statistically, after 30 days, you've engaged in sex with that person. Statistically. So it's important that you learn how to sever or reevaluate. I'm putting it out there because every couple has different rules that work for their relationship.